Hey everybody. So first off, before I get started with Slammiversary, I just wanted to go over some stuff with Rey Mysterio. This is just a small little info I wanted to go over. For those that know this, Rey Mysterio was offered to come over to TNA. He was offered a lot of money, his merchandise to be sold, and just pretty much anything TNA were trying to do to bring him over. Now, from what I heard, he hasn't responded to these to what people have been talking about, but I don't think he's gonna go over there. I think he's gonna go to Lucha Underground, where he'll do a lot more over there than what he can do with TNA. And he knows TNA is a sinking ship. I mean, after having a Slammiversary, I would not blame him for not going over. So, what's this about Slammiversary? Am I going to be bashing on TNA some more? Well, not really. Let me explain. Before I get started, let me just let me sorry again. I'm sorry to say that again. But yeah, I don't hate TNA. I think TNA does good work at times. They can have some great matches, but unless they work on their storylines and everything, then they're not really going to get far. And unfortunately, this pay-per-view was proof of that. This was a pretty much a go-home show that, you know, that felt more like an Impact show than a pay-per-view show. And it sucked because none of the championship titles, like the world title, the knockouts title, and the tag team titles, are defended tonight. In fact, all three titles have changed hands. The X Division title was only there because TNA needed to have that championship in it because they care little about it, and it's true. They do not care about the X Division title. And if you don't believe me, then let's take a look at the first match. The first match was an elimination three-way match with Tigre Uno, Manic, and DJ Z. And the reason I'm saying that the title doesn't matter is because they just threw this match in there. They didn't build it up like the other matches they did. It was a good match. I'm not gonna doubt it was a good way to start off the pay-per-view, but I mean, there was little buildup for this, and we've seen these three guys fight before. Whether it's in a triple threat, a four-way, or an Ultimate X, it doesn't matter. We've seen this match happen before, so it matters little. I did not care much for it. I mean, it was a good match, but I cared little for it. Tigre Uno ended up retaining the title after eliminating both guys, so he walked out champion. Congratulations. But again, the X Division title to me means very little, especially how much damage they have done to that title and how they haven't focused on it so much. I mean, think about it. When was the last time they actually gave a damn about this title? So much that they put it in main event matches again, like they did years ago. They haven't done that. So it sucks. Yeah, I know, but that's how TNA's been doing it. Next match we had was Robbie E and Jesse Gooders. I can't say his last name right. But this was not a bad match. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It was not bad. And the only thing I can actually say is that this match didn't feel that well good with all the build they had for it. You know how these two guys were once the bromance and they broke up and now they're fighting. They're facing off at Slammiversary. There wasn't much anything about this match that felt good. The promos weren't even that. To me, it didn't feel so good. Robbie E also ended up winning out of nowhere with an inverted DDT, and he walked out the winner. So I I don't know. It's just I really was expecting this match with so much that they were trying to make it look that it didn't feel like it was worth the build up. So next match, Bram and Matt Morgan in a street fight. Morgan declared the match a street fight, and he lost. This was a boring match. It wasn't that good of a hardcore kind of match. It was kind of boring. And Morgan, to me, God, he did not look good. I mean, years ago he looked great, but now seeing him like that, it was wow. Oh my God, I think he shouldn't have come back. I mean, Bram, he was good. I won't lie, he was good. And if TNA ever does close his doors, then I think he could go over to WWE. I mean, he is the son-in-law of Ric Flair and married to Charlotte, so I wouldn't be surprised. Next match, Austin Aries and Davey Richards, which I thought was going to be a tag team match, but again, as I said before, the titles already changed hand a few days ago. All 4 tapings already made days before Slammiversary. 4 days before Slammiversary. So yeah, we already know what happened, and it was pointless. You could tell Austin Aries was not into this match. I mean, he did give the crowd a good show, but you could tell he was not into it. Even Davey Richards went out there and gave it his best as well, but yeah, you could tell they did not care much for this. They tried to give it at least half of what they can do, but Aries, he didn't give it all he had and ended up winning thanks to Bobby Roode getting involved. So Austin Aries won. This was his last match. Yep, Austin Aries has left TNA. He's gone. So if you see him the next few weeks, those are tapings, guys. He's not really there. He left. And it sucks because I really like Austin Aries. The fans love Austin Aries. And he even gave a good promo after the match that even saying, I think I remember, because I didn't see the promo. I heard about it after that he gave a good promo and even talked about how the show already had taped the tag titles changing hands. So, and he even announced that their match is a bra and panties match. So it's not true. It's not, but it's, oh my God, I love Aries. And he was pretty much giving like a kind of an FU to TNA, telling everybody that, yeah, the show already taped, so the tag titles already changed hands. So this match was pointless to pick a stipulation for it. So, Aries, we will miss you. Next match, Awesome Kong and Brooke defeated the Dollhouse. The only one in that group that I like the most, other than Taryn Terrell, who's pretty good in the ring, and another chick, is Mia Yim, a.k.a. Jade. She is hot. Oh, yeah. And, hey, she's even a year younger than me. I wonder. No, I'm sorry. I'm getting off topic. This was okay. This was an okay tag match for the knockouts. I care little for it because I do not like how they're doing with the knockouts right now, but I would still watch this again better than rather watch any matches with the Bella Twins involved. I would rather have that. I would rather watch any match from the knockouts than anything that Bella Twins bring us. So yeah, it's not bad, but at least it doesn't have the Bella Twins. So next match, James Storm and Magnus in a non-sanctioned match. This was pretty much a hardcore kind of match, and it was fun watching this because these guys beat the holy hell out of one another, and I loved it. It was fun to see these guys go out there and have a great match. The only problem that I had with it was 2 things. One was the fact that the storyline these two were having was thrown out the window because A, Mickie James was apparently killed by James Storm after being hit by a train, but she then went on Twitter and told everybody, no, I'm fine. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm fine. So that kind of threw the storyline out. And even Magnus didn't even acknowledge that. Like, he says he doesn't hate James Storm, that he's just going to go out there and have a match with him. And that's what they did. They went out there and had one hell of a match. The other problem was the ending, how they hit each other with the beer bottles, and James Storm landed on Magnus and won the match like that. Pretty stupid, but, I mean, it was their last match, so who cares, right? Oh, yeah, James Storm and Magnus, they're gone. They left TNA too. So another TNA original leaving. Magnus, a young guy who could have been done well if they did it right, has left as well. And I guess Mickie James is going to leave because from what I heard, she has no more dates with the TNA. So she could be out too. And here's another problem that TNA had, other than their stars leaving, is they suffered some technical difficulties that lasted for minutes throughout the pay-per-view. I'm not kidding. So this caused issues from those that were watching the pay-per-view that paid good money to see this. I didn't pay because my friend was the one who was showing me the pay-per-view. So thank you, dude. And when they finally did fix the problem, the sound was off. So the mics were messed up. It did not go well for TNA. It felt like, oh my God, what the hell's going on with these guys? And it was humiliating for TNA. It really was. Ethan Carter III and Tyrus defeated Lashley and Anderson, so I did not care for this match. This was kind of boring. We also had the King of the Mountain ladder match. This was the main event, and it was for the TNA King of the Mountain Championship. Also was once known as the Legends Championship, as the Globals Championship, as the Television Championship, but now it's called the King of the Mountain Championship. Yes, you heard me right, folks. It is the same freaking title. I'm not kidding. It's the same title. They just brought it back and they gave it a new name. Why? Why are you changing the freaking name? We know what it is. It was the Legends title. Then it was the Global. Then Television. Now the freaking King of the Mountain? Does that mean that championship doesn't have to be defended unless it's a King of the Mountain match? Screw you, TNA. What the hell is wrong with you? Oh, and the worst part of it is they didn't even reveal that this match was going to be for the title. They announced this, from what I heard 2 weeks ago, that there was going to be a King of the Mountain ladder match. We didn't know who the participants were. It wasn't announced that Jeff Jarrett until next week that he was going to be in this match. And then, days later, we found out Matt Hardy was in it. Eric Young was in it. Drew Galloway was in it. Bobby Roode was in it. And we didn't know that this was going to be for the King of the Mountain title until in the weekend. Probably the day before, or maybe on the day that this match was going to happen. Are you freaking kidding me? See, that's another issue I've had. I know people are saying, stop bashing on TNA. I can't help it. I literally can't help but bash on them when they can't even book their freaking shows well. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I screamed. It's just I'm tired of the lack of effort they're putting into this. I really am. I'm not blaming the wrestlers. They went out there and they gave it their best. In this match, for example, they tried. There were some botched moves here and there. Jarrett was getting the hell beat out of him. All the men got the pins that they were trying to get so they can get to the top of the ladder and hook the title. But I'm sorry, guys, but the booking sucked. The build-up sucks. I really was expecting more. And what sucks even more is that we already know what happens on the next few impacts. We know who the new champions are. Spoiler alert, guys. There's a spoiler alert. I'll let you know when to listen again, okay? If you don't want to know what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. The Wolves win the tag titles. Brooke wins the Knockouts title. Ethan Carter III wins the world title. That's what happens. And you know what else? Kurt Angle, there's a reason why he didn't show up for Slammiversary. He had a freaking tumor. A tumor in his head. Now I feel bad because Kurt, I love the guy. I really do. But he does make mistakes that do anger me. But honestly, seriously, what the hell, dude? You had this for a year. From what I would, no. It's true. He's had this tumor. What he said, he claims he had this for a year. Are you freaking kidding me? You didn't get that check. You didn't tell TNA that, hey, I got this tumor. I got to take care of it, guys. You don't mind? He didn't. I don't know why he didn't take care of this sooner. If he knew about it for a year. But yeah, Kurt Angle. That's why he didn't show up for Slammiversary, because he had to take care of the problem. And I hope he gets better. I hope Kurt get well soon from that. But seriously, TNA, really? Oh my God! Despite some issues with the technical difficulty and despite some problems TNA was going through with this pay-per-view. Now, it doesn't really matter what we saw tonight because we already know what happens the next few weeks. What does matter is that this wasn't the worst I have seen. At least not the worst pay-per-view I've seen from TNA. Trust me, I've seen worse. They did have some good matches. There were some that I wish were done better. The King of the Mountain match was okay, but again, I'm sorry, but the way they've been talking about the whole show tonight. They've been talking about TNA and the history of everything. It feels more like this was a funeral for TNA. It feels like this was TNA's last pay-per-view. That's how it feels. And unless they find a new network or they can convince Destination America that they can stay on their program so they can have Bound for Glory, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't even know where Bound for Glory is going to be. I really don't. So if you guys have a different opinion, let me know what you think, because I got nothing. I really don't. So take care, everybody, and see you all next time. Well, I'll probably be talking about something that's not TNA related, unless they give me more reasons to talk about them. So, bye.